Hi, I'm Fran of Body by Fran Training, and this workout is designed to strengthen your climbs, your inverts, your shoulder mounts, and even your leg hangs. All you'll need for this workout is your pole and a yoga mat. Let's get started with a good warm-up, shall we? All right, let's warm it up, shall we? Start with those feet nice and wide, and we're going to just step and tap. Notice I'm bending the knees and then straightening up. Just generating some heat, getting the large muscle groups working and warming up the body. And now we're going to take one arm up, overhead. Yes. Keep the abs nice and tight. Bend those knees, push it up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take it down. No arms, just tap. 4, 3, 2, arms overhead. One more time. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now 4 and 4. No arms for 4. 3, 2. Add those arms for 4. 3. Keep the tummy nice and tight. Now 2. 1, 2. Overhead. 1, 2. Again. 1, 2. Overhead. 1, 2. Again. 1, 2. Overhead. 1, 2. Last time. 1, 2. Overhead. Take it nice and wide and lunge side to side. You should have your heart rate up a little bit, feeling some blood flowing. Nice. Again, abs in, tummy nice and tight, chest up, side to side. Toes are pointing slightly outward. We don't want them in because that can make the knees feel icky for some of us, especially some of us who are slightly over 25. All right, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, take it over, turn it, hands to the floor. You can bring the knees down if you'd like. And we're going to come up into a downward facing dog. From our down dog, we're going to pull over, sucking the navel in tight, coming into a high plank. Notice I'm not arching or dipping. I'm pushing the floor away, separating the shoulder blades, and then coming back. 1 and back. 2 and back. And I'm really thinking of squeezing the muscles under the armpits, like I've got a grapefruit in there, and I want to make grapefruit juice. Now, if you want to add a little bit to this, you can lower down into a tricep push-up and push back up. If that's too much, don't worry about it. I'm going to do 2 more in just the pullover. And last one. I like to do 10 total of those. And next we're going to be going into our serratus saws. These types of exercises are staples for me in my pole strong method of training because I like everyone to warm up the pecs, lats, serratus and get that mind-muscle connection into these muscle groups because these are the ones that are going to keep us nice and strong on the pole and save us from injuries in the shoulder. All right, so hands start here. We're not going to be dipping in. Thumbs up. Come into a plank, and again, push the floor away. No arching, no dropping, up and push. And now, using that cue again, think about squeezing a grapefruit under your armpits and coming back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Awesome. Bring it down. And last, we're going to do some articulated rotations of the joints. Let's start with the shoulders. We're going to start with the thumb up, Cross the arm across the body. Take it nice and slow. It goes up, overhead, and then as I come back, I begin to rotate my palm and thumb comes down. All the way around, palm facing away. Back up. At the top, begin to rotate that thumb back up. Nice. You can do a few of these. Up, knees soft, abs tight, rotate, thumb down, rotate all the way around so the palm is facing outward. Thumb up, reach it back, rotate, thumb to the ceiling and back down. Do a few of these on each side, especially if you have cranky, tight shoulders. Now, you can hold on to your pole or to a wall for this one. We're going to lift the knee to about 90-degree angle. So if you see it from the side, it looks about like this. We're going to take it out, squeezing the side butt, and now rotate the knee downward and in and back straight out. Rotate the knee downward, bring the knee up and back in. Now the other side. Let's see if I can do this without holding on. Rotate, knee down, ooh, and in. Push back, knee down, knee up, and out. Not bad. All right, let's get ready to work out. This first drill is great for building strength in your climbs. As we know, our climbs come primarily from the hips and legs. So we don't want to just be pulling with our upper body because that's very challenging to do. So let's set up this exercise. We're going to take our back leg, knee to the pole, foot behind the pole, just as you would in a climb, but toes on the floor. Then we're going to take the other leg and wrap it to the front, just as you would in a climb, toes on the floor. Hands can be at about chest level. We're going to sit back like we're sitting in a chair, squeezing the knees on the pole and pulling up for one. Now, make sure you're not only using your arms. You should feel those inner thighs working. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent. Let's do the other side. Same thing. Knee against the pole. Oops, foot behind. There we go. Almost did that wrong. Other leg in front. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze with the knees. Hands at about chest height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent. This next exercise is going to help build strength for both climbing and your inverts. It's called a one-arm pull-up, but don't be afraid. We're going to start with the hip in front of the pole. Arm comes straight across as if we were going into an invert grip. And then we're going to just bring that hand to the pole. Now, knees are soft, weight in the heels, and I'm going to extend this arm all the way out. I don't need to be in a huge back bend. Don't let your back do the work. Let the arm extend. As I extend the arm, I'm going to reach back. Now, I'm going to initiate the pull back up with the lats, and then the bicep, and then I'll come all the way up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Make sure you're keeping your abs tight. 4, you're using your butt. 3, to squeeze as you come back up. 2, and 1. If you're feeling primarily your bicep in that, you really want to start to focus on pulling up from the lats and get some grip, because sometimes over gripping will have the arms feel the exercise a little bit more. Set up the other side, come across, weight in the heels. Ready? Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. For our next exercise, grab your mats. This exercise is one of my favorite exercises for inverts. It's called a straddle invert drill. This one will help you with your choppers as well. Make sure, if you are very flexible or even hypermobile, that you are not letting your flexibility do the work here. That can happen, and I'll show you how. First, we're going to set up with our head about a hand's distance away from the pole, and our hands are going to grip the pole, cup grip, meaning thumbs on the same side as the fingers, and we're going to pull in and downward on the pole so that we're activating the pec lats serratus. You won't be able to pull and get a really efficient contraction with the elbows out. We want to begin to synthesize the movement of the muscles, the pec lats serratus, the obliques, the abdominals, the hip flexors. All right. So my head's about a hand's distance away. I have my hands in place, and I'm going to press the lower back into the floor as I pull against the pole. Extend the legs, circle them out, and open as far as you can. Now, from here, pull against the pole and lift the hips up. The feet don't have to hit the floor behind you. Now, this is where hypermobility will come in a little bit. So if you're super flexible or hypermobile, when you open out, your legs can come back to the floor, right? Don't let that happen. Keep them pointing to the wall behind you before you touch down so you can use the abs. I'm going to slide my mat a little bit so I don't kick my... There we go. Don't kick my thing over there. Ready? Let's do 10. 10. 9. Really use the abs. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. Still kicked my shelf. 2. And down nice and slow. This next exercise is a great shoulder mount strengthener. Not only will it start to condition your traps for the shoulder mount, but it'll help you get the drive necessary from the glutes, connecting all the muscles of the torso in with the hip flexors, and really get that positioning down that you need for your shoulder mount. We're going to start sitting back against the pole, right? So we don't want to be way out here. Up nice and high, move your hair out of the way. Now, I'm on my left shoulder, so I'm going to take my left hand lower than my right hand on top. Now, again, we really don't want a chicken wing here. I see a lot of people start their shoulder mount journey in a chicken wing, and then they have to kick to get up. Because when your elbows are out here, you cannot utilize the pec lats and serratus to pull downward, right? Just like we felt in that serratus saw in the warm-up, we want to utilize these under armpit muscles in our shoulder mount, especially when we start doing this conditioning work. So I pull in and down, and I lift up. From here, lift the knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, if that's not available to you yet, we can do just hip lifts. I'm not going to say just because that's really hard. Make sure you do both sides on these. I'm going to use my right side for the hip lifts, not hip lifts, hip lifts, and then I'm going to show you a more advanced version. So, boom, hip lift. Boom, hip lift. Make sure you're tightening your booty. Yeah. Now, more advanced would be to come up. Do whichever variation works for you. Either 10 alternating knee lifts, 10 hip lifts, or 10 little shoulder mount straddles. That's it for this strength and conditioning workout. Feel free to use these exercises 2 or 3 times in a row, or as part of your warm-up for your pole training. Use it any way that you like. But make sure that you do a nice little cool down stretch when you're finished. If you liked these exercises, these targeted strength and conditioning exercises for specific tricks, then you're going to love my signature program, Pole Body Bootcamp. This program has 12 targeted workouts designed for climbs, inverts, cupids, leg hangs, all the different moves that you'd like to do. There's a targeted exercise for each, including mobility and flexibility work, and an awesome warrior warm-up. Thanks for joining me. Train smarter, not harder, you guys. Bye.